Some faces appeared on screen for only a few minutes, yet stayed in our hearts for a lifetime. Welcome to Golden Flame Stars. Today, we travel back to the golden 1950s, when silver screen queens ruled the darkened theaters with red lips, perfect waves, and heartbreak in their eyes. From glamorous goddesses to tender ingenues, these women defined beauty and romance for a generation. Let's see which of these unforgettable queens still lives in your memories. Kathleen Hughes, with honey blonde hair, wide eyes, and a sly, knowing smile, lit up 1950s thrillers like it came from outer space. Her curves and playful screen presence made her a drive-in daydream for countless young moviegoers. She died in 2025 at 96, fondly remembered as a shimmering cult favorite of mid-century cinema. And Frances, with her blonde hair, cool gaze, and trademark beauty mark near her lip, became a 1950s fantasy in Forbidden Planet and Blackboard Jungle. She looked both futuristic and warmly approachable, the sci-fi dream girl with real attitude. She died in 2011 at 80, still ranked among Hollywood's sexiest icons. Frances Rafferty, with soft features, bright eyes, and a wholesome smile, first charmed audiences as an MGM starlet and World War II pinup girl. In light comedies and musicals, she seemed like the pretty neighbor every GI dreamed about. She died in 2004 at 81, remembered as a gentle, girl-next-door beauty. Doris Day, with her sunny smile, clear blue eyes, and golden voice, became the ultimate girl-next-door romantic lead in Pillow Talk and The Man Who Knew Too Much. Her laughter and songs wrapped audiences in gentle optimism. She died in 2019 at 97, leaving a legacy of bright, comforting screen romance. The next legend is Hollywood's most enchanting dancing sweetheart. Ginger Rogers, with her bright smile, sparkling eyes, and endlessly graceful legs, floated through musicals like Swing Time and Top Hat. In ball gowns and featherlight spins with Fred Astaire, she turned romance into pure motion. She died in 1995 at 83, forever cherished as Hollywood's most enchanting dancing sweetheart. Katharine Hepburn, with her sharp cheekbones, clear eyes, and clipped, patrician voice, brought a different kind of beauty to films like The Philadelphia Story and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Fiercely independent on and off screen, she made intelligence irresistible. She died in 2003 at 96, a timeless symbol of wit and elegance. Lana Turner, with her sculpted brows, full lips, and glamorous curves, turned film noirs like The Postman Always Rings Twice into feverish fantasies. Whether in furs or satin, she seemed born for shadows and desire. She died in 1995 at 74, remembered as one of Hollywood's definitive blonde sirens. Lucille Ball, with flame-red hair, huge eyes, and a rubbery, expressive face, made millions fall in love with her in I Love Lucy. Even covered in flour or bursting into laughter, she glowed with a special kind of warmth. She died in 1989 at 77, forever cherished as television's funniest sweetheart. Claire Bloom, with dark, thoughtful eyes and a finely sculpted profile, brought aching romantic intelligence to films like The Spy Who Came In From the Cold and The Brothers Karamazov. Her intensity made even a simple glance feel like a love confession. Now 94, she appears only occasionally, cherished as a symbol of British elegance. Leslie Caron, with her dark bob, bright darting eyes, and dancer's lightness, turned An American in Paris and Gigi into dreamy musical love stories. She seemed to float rather than walk, the perfect gamine sweetheart. Now 94, she lives quietly in France, treasured as a living link to Golden Age romance. Do you remember the first time you went completely silent just because of a movie star's eyes? Susan Hayward, with her fiery red hair, strong jawline, and blazing eyes, gave romantic melodramas like I Wanna Live, and with a song in my heart, a fierce emotional charge. She looked like a woman who had truly lived every heartbreak. She died in 1975 at 57, remembered for intense, stormy glamour. Shirley Knight, with her open face, searching blue eyes, and soft vulnerability, brought aching sincerity to Sweet Bird of Youth and The Dark at the Top of the Stairs. She made longing and disappointment feel painfully real. She died in 2020 at 83, cherished as a quietly radiant presence in serious drama. Shelley Winters, with her blonde curls, expressive mouth, and big, wounded eyes, moved from bombshell roles to deeper, bruised characters in A Place in the Sun and The Diary of Anne Frank. Her beauty always hinted at trouble and tenderness. She died in 2006 at 85, leaving a legacy of messy, human passion. Jean Simmons, with her velvety voice, soft dark eyes, and classical profile, brought a gentle, haunting romantic aura to Spartacus and Guys and Dolls. She seemed both innocent and knowing, like someone guarding secret sorrows. She died in 2010 at 80, remembered as one of British cinema's most delicately enchanting beauties. Judy Holliday, with her round face, bright eyes, and squeaky, hesitant voice, turned dumb blondes in Born Yesterday and Bells Are Ringing into unexpectedly lovable, romantic women. Audiences fell for the vulnerability beneath her perfect comic timing. She died in 1965 at 43, remembered as a uniquely funny, tender screen sweetheart. Jayne Mansfield, the platinum blonde bombshell with an hourglass figure, breathy voice, and teasing, wide-eyed stare, turned 1950s comedies like The Girl Can't Help It into pure, pop art seduction. Posters of her covered bedroom walls worldwide. She died in 1967 at 34, her over-the-top glamour still burned into pop memory. Belinda Lee, the British blonde beauty with luminous eyes and a soft, wistful smile, captivated audiences in films like Footsteps in the Fog and Italian melodramas of the late 1950s. She seemed made for tragic, tender romance. She died in 1961 at just 25, leaving behind a brief but haunting screen legacy. Anna Magnani, with dark, stormy eyes, a strong nose, and a lived-in face, made romance feel volcanic in Rome, Open City, and The Rose Tattoo. Passion and pain seemed to pour out of every embrace. She died in 1973 at 65, revered as the raw, beating heart of Italian screen love. Suzy Parker, the high-fashion redhead with impossibly long legs, feline eyes, and cool, aristocratic poise, brought model glamour to the screen and kissed them for me and 10 North Frederick. She looked like a living magazine cover come to life. She died in 2003 at 69, forever a symbol of 1950s chic desire. Rita Hayworth, red-haired queen and Hollywood's love goddess, bewitched audiences with smoky eyes, a slow, knowing smile, and a figure made for satin gowns and shadowy light. In Gilda and her steamy musicals, every hair flip and hip swing felt like a promise. She died at 69, leaving 70 films and an unforgettable allure. Graceful and luminous, Ingrid Bergman captivated the world with her purity and depth. In Casablanca and Anastasia, she brought tenderness and truth to every role. Scandal once shadowed her fame, but talent restored her glory. She died in 1982, aged 67, from breast cancer, remembered as Hollywood's most radiant soul. Sweet and talented, Natalie Wood grew up before the camera. Known for rebel without a cause and splendor in the grass, she portrayed fragile emotion beautifully. Her mysterious life mirrored her roles. She died tragically in 1981, aged 43, from drowning, leaving Hollywood with endless questions and memories. Grace Kelly's cool elegance and serene beauty made her Hollywood royalty. Starring in Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, she enchanted audiences worldwide. Her real-life fairy tale marriage to Prince Rainier turned her into a princess. She died in 1982, aged 52, after a tragic car accident. Ava Gardner's sultry beauty and fierce independence made her one of Hollywood's most desired women. Known for The Barefoot Contessa and Magambo, she lived boldly, loved deeply, and defied convention. Her tempestuous romances drew headlines. She died on January 25, 1990, aged 67, from pneumonia, a true beauty touched by sorrow. The timeless goddess of 1950s Hollywood, Marilyn Monroe embodied beauty, charm, and vulnerability. Famous for Some Like It Hot and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, she captivated the world, yet struggled with fame and loneliness. She died in 1962, aged 36, from a barbiturate overdose, forever remembered as Hollywood's tragic beauty. With her violet eyes and regal beauty, Elizabeth Taylor ruled 1950s Hollywood. Famous for A Place in the Sun and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, she embodied both glamour and passion. Her stormy love life fascinated the world. She died in 2011, aged 79, from heart failure, leaving a legacy of timeless elegance. Sultry voice, sharp wit, and irresistible poise, Lauren Bacall was the essence of cool. Starring in To Have and Have Not and Designing Woman, she defined sophistication. Her great love with Humphrey Bogart became legend. She died in 2014, aged 89, from stroke, her beauty eternal and her spirit unbroken. Radiant and warm, Marilyn Maxwell graced the screen with wit and charm. Known for Champion and the Lemon Drop Kid, she captivated audiences and shared laughter with Bob Hope. Behind the spotlight, her health quietly declined. She died in 1972, aged 49, from heart failure, remembered with tenderness and quiet sorrow. Audrey Hepburn redefined elegance and grace in the 1950s. Her luminous charm in Roman Holiday and Sabrina made her a global icon. Beyond film, she devoted her life to humanitarian work with UNICEF. She passed away in 1993, aged 63, from appendiceal cancer, leaving a legacy of beauty and kindness. America's sweetheart of the 1950s, Debbie Reynolds stole hearts in Singin' in the Rain and the unsinkable Molly Brown. Her bright smile and perseverance made her beloved. She was also the devoted mother of Carrie Fisher. She died in 2016, aged 84, from a stroke, just one day after her daughter. The Italian enchantress of the 1950s, Sophia Loren brought fiery passion and beauty to every role. Famed for Two Women and Houseboat, she embodied both strength and sensuality. As Italy's first Oscar-winning actress, she became a global icon. Now 91, she remains the living spirit of Mediterranean grace and timeless power. Cool, mysterious, and hauntingly beautiful, Kim Novak captivated audiences in Vertigo and Picnic. Though fame once surrounded her, Hollywood's pressures dimmed her joy. She stepped away to live quietly, painting and finding peace in solitude. Now 92, she remains a symbol of enduring beauty and strength unbroken by fame. June Squibb, the Oscar-nominated star of Nebraska, found widespread acclaim later in life for her warmth, humor, and authenticity. Now 96, she remains active in acting despite her advanced age, her boundless energy and sharp spirit proving that passion truly has no expiration date. Britt Ekland, the Swedish-born beauty of The Man with the Golden Gun and Get Carter, became one of the most glamorous faces of the 1970s. Now 83, she has openly discussed her regret over past cosmetic surgeries, but embraces aging gracefully, living peacefully, and focusing on family and well-being. Faye Dunaway, the magnetic star of Bonnie and Clyde and Network, redefined intensity and sophistication in American cinema. Now 84, she lives a quieter life, occasionally attending events, her once fiery persona softened by age, yet still carrying that unmistakable Hollywood mystique. Carol Baker, who captivated audiences in Baby Doll and Giant, was one of Hollywood's boldest and most intriguing actresses of the 1950s. Now 94, she enjoys a quiet retirement, her once glamorous image softened by time, but her fearless spirit forever celebrated by classic film lovers. Geraldine Chaplin, daughter of the legendary Charlie Chaplin and acclaimed actress of Dr. Zhivago and Cría Cuervos, continues her family's artistic legacy. Now 81, she remains active in European cinema, her elegance untouched by time. though she moves more slowly after recent health struggles. Elke Sommer, the German-born beauty who rose to fame in the 1960s with films like A Shot in the Dark, embodied elegance and playfulness. Now 85, she lives quietly in Los Angeles, her energy slowed by age, but her charm and warmth still capturing the hearts of classic film fans. Julie Christie, the Oscar-winning beauty of Dr. Zhivago and Darling, defined 1960s cinematic elegance with her quiet intensity. Now 84, she lives a secluded life in the English countryside, largely retired from acting, cherishing peace and privacy after decades in the spotlight. Angie Dickinson, the sultry star of Police Woman and Rio Bravo, redefined the image of strength and glamour on screen. Now 94, she lives privately, coping with the effects of aging, yet remains admired for her poise, resilience, and trailblazing career in television. Lily Tomlin, the brilliant comedian and star of 9 to 5 and Grace and Frankie, has delighted audiences for decades with her wit and humanity. Now 86, she remains active in film and television, facing age-related health challenges with humor and strength, still proving laughter never grows old. Harriet Andersson, the celebrated Swedish actress and frequent Ingmar Bergman collaborator in Summer with Monica and Cries and Whispers, defined naturalism in cinema. Now 93, she lives a quiet life away from the spotlight in Stockholm, her health fragile, but her legacy as a Scandinavian film icon forever secure. Liv Ullmann, the muse of Ingmar Bergman and star of Persona and Cries and Whispers, became the soul of Scandinavian cinema. Now 86, she remains active in humanitarian work despite frail health, her empathy and wisdom shining just as brightly as her legendary performances. Marianne Koch, the German actress remembered for A Fistful of Dollars, charmed audiences with her quiet strength and beauty. Now 93, she has long retired from acting and worked as a physician, her life a testament to intellect, compassion, and lasting grace beyond the screen. Lee Meriwether, crowned Miss America 1955 and later beloved as Catwoman in Batman 1966, became a television favorite for her grace and sophistication. Now 90, she has stepped back from acting, enjoying a peaceful life, her dignified beauty and kind spirit still shining after decades in the spotlight. Brenda Vaccaro, the Oscar-nominated star of Midnight Cowboy and Once Is Not Enough, brought warmth and authenticity to every role. Now 86, she lives privately, coping with age-related health issues, but her vibrant voice and memorable performances continue to define a generation of classic cinema. Susan Hampshire, the acclaimed British actress known for the Forsyte Saga and Monarch of the Glen, long enchanted audiences with her refined grace. Now 88, she has publicly discussed her lifelong struggle with dyslexia, becoming an advocate for education and proof that perseverance conquers all obstacles. Glenn Close, the commanding star of Fatal Attraction and Dangerous Liaisons, has long captivated audiences with her emotional power and elegance. Now 78, she continues to act and advocate for mental health awareness, her strength and compassion proving that brilliance only deepens with age. Vanessa Redgrave, the Oscar-winning star of Julia and Howard's End, has long been admired for her elegance and fierce artistry. Now 88, she battles chronic respiratory issues and limited mobility, but continues to appear occasionally on stage, her spirit and talent undimmed by time. Catherine Deneuve, the legendary French actress of The Umbrellas of Cherbourg and Belle de Jour, remains one of Europe's greatest screen icons. Now 82, she has mostly recovered from a 2019 stroke, continuing to appear in select films with the same poise and magnetic charm that defined her career. Meryl Streep, hailed as the greatest actress of her generation, has defined excellence through unforgettable roles in Sophie's Choice and The Devil Wears Prada. Now 76, she remains active and vibrant, her grace and authenticity continuing to inspire audiences and set the gold standard for Hollywood artistry. Sharon Stone, the mesmerizing star of Basic Instinct and Casino, became a symbol of boldness and intelligence in 1990s Hollywood. Now 67, she has overcome a life-threatening stroke and health complications, emerging stronger and grateful, a living testament to resilience and reinvention. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, the Emmy-winning star of Seinfeld and Veep, is celebrated for her sharp comedic brilliance and fearless energy. Now 64, she has fully recovered from breast cancer diagnosed in 2017, continuing to act and inspire others with her humor, resilience, and positive outlook on life. Katherine Ross, with her soft voice and clear, wondering eyes, became the dream girl who always seemed half out of reach. In The Graduate and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, she hovered between safety and danger, affection and escape. Now 85, she endures as the gentle face of bittersweet romance. Diane Keaton, with her quirky charm and shimmering vulnerability, made romance feel intimate, talky, and wonderfully unpredictable. As Annie Hall, her hesitant smiles and offbeat warmth rewrote the rules of modern love stories. She died in 2025 at 79, forever remembered as the muse of witty, bittersweet, deeply human affection. Barbra Streisand, with her fierce sensitivity and unmistakable voice, turned Katie Morosky into one of cinema's most unforgettable lovers. Her yearning glances toward Robert Redford carried both hope and heartbreak. Now 83, she remains a symbol of passionate, principled love that refuses to fade quietly. These were the faces that defined a generation, icons of beauty, fame, and fragile dreams. Some found peace, others vanished too soon, yet all left behind a light that never fades. Thank you for watching. If their stories moved you, please like, share, and subscribe, and join us next time as we honor more timeless Hollywood legends.